The Street Corner Soapbox. The Street Corner Soapbox with Falso and Willin. Podcast takeover. We're making a killing. Music to nightlife. Debauchery and street news. Serving it hot. We are some street news, movies and mayhem. The craziest guests, words from chaos. Get it off our chest, Rhode Island, worldwide, dark corners in all places. Speak how we live, radio show, smoking aces. Ladies and gents, for the people we're talking. Take the show on the road, right where you're walking. Yeah.
That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Street Corner Soapbox Podcast coming to you live. That's right, boys and girls. Street Corner Soapbox. I'm back with my brother, Lord Willin.
Yo, what up, people?
What up? Here live, Boston at Barbershop Company and Tattoo.
Yeah, with our boy, Robert Dello Russo. How you doing, my friend?
Good. Thanks for having me.
Thank you for coming on.
Anytime.
We are here at Boston Barber Co. Beautiful facility in the legendary historic north end of Boston. And also we have a reoccurring guest, our only recurring guest.
Buddy.
One of our favorite guests, our boy Joe from Eat Cinis. Joe, how you doing, pal?
A pleasure to be back, gentlemen.
Yo, listen, it's always great when you're on. It's always great.
Put a smile.
Joe's episodes do really well. You know what I mean? He's just, I don't know what it is.
I ooze talent.
It's some of the Cini. It's some of the Cini magic, I think.
It must be.
I don't know. I got people asking me, hey, when are you bringing that guy Joe back on from Cini's?
That's right. Best balls anyone ever had in their mouth.
He's all action.
Always. Fast, hot, and 100%.
So, Rob, how have things been, with this whole pandemic for you? And let me start off with that and the business and everything.
The pandemic, it's affected everybody, obviously. I've been fairly lucky with the restrictions and stuff that's went on, which is really strange. It seems to me that the restaurants were targeted more than anybody. Like, my business, you couldn't get any closer to it. We're touching you.
Right.
Every client, the tattoo clients, you're getting touched. If you're getting a haircut, you're getting touched.
Yeah.
So it's
right.
like, they didn't really do much to, regulate what we were doing. I did whatever I can do, but we shut down for a few months like everybody else, but we were pretty much in the first phase of things to get back open, and I was fortunate for that, but there was really no people around. Everybody went away, so financial district, barbershops are like after work rush, and we're a walking neighborhood. So nobody's driving here to get their hair cut. There's nowhere to park. It's crazy.
Right.
So, the more people start coming out, we're getting better and better. But we were able to survive. We did all right.
Were there a lot of restrictions and codes and stuff like that you had to abide by during this whole time?
One of the things was, we put up dividers between stations. Yeah. We staggered the barbers, so it was people weren't all packed in. We had to take appointments. We were only walk-ins only before. You come in, you sign your name.
Oh, really?
And then when we call you, but we would do 800, 900 haircuts a week. So it's like, I couldn't do that with appointments. It's just too fucking crazy.
Yeah.
So you come in, you sit down and wait. But the thing is this, is my shop is so big now. You come in, there's 5-6 dudes ahead of you. Go have a coffee. By the time you're done with the coffee, we're calling your name, so it's not really
that's actually an awesome idea.
Yeah.
Well, let me say this too: this is probably the coolest fucking barbershop I've ever been in, and I'm not just saying that.
Yeah, for real.
But and I've been to different barbershops throughout the years, and you go in and you're walking, and you got to wait an hour or two, and it sucks. But coming in here, I wouldn't even mind. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like you said, you got for those that don't know, he has an espresso bar. And he has a tattoo shop in here. So
my brother's a contractor, and so my vision was, I said, I want it to be like a social club, a cigar bar, but we're a business where we're running things. So you feel comfortable in here.
Yeah.
You sit in the booth, you're hanging with your boys.
Yeah, man.
Everybody knows each other. Even all the yuppie kids in the neighborhood, they come in here to hear the stories. Yeah. They want to know. They know. How can I put it? They know that there was something special that went on here for many, many years.
Mystique.
That they missed.
Yeah.
So when they come in here and they start looking at the pictures of old businesses or people, and I have the stories behind them.
Oh, you do? You were telling us something off the mic.
they love it. So, what I mean? It's for those kids, it's nice. So I like to say that I recreated the old neighborhood within my shop.
Yeah, man.
So we keep it alive.
Yeah, man. So get into your early life and background a little bit and how you actually got into cutting hair and became a barber.
Well, I was born and raised in the North End, still here. I'm 45 years old, so I started fooling around with cutting hair at like maybe 14, 13 years old, and nothing crazy, just like your boy, cutting your boy's hair and things like that. Yep. So I kind of got really good at it. It became natural to me, but I abandoned it when I got a little older. I just I actually went to barber school and quit. Probably that was like 1995, 96, and then just kind of started running around the streets, getting in trouble, and so I ended up doing a bid in 2001, and so in there, being a barber when you're locked up. It's a great position.
Oh, yeah, sure.
Everyone wants to look good. Yeah, exactly. The box is full. You're always making money. Guys are always looking for you. They respect you, whatever. But it becomes, in there, it also becomes a pain in the ass, to be honest with you, because they're always looking for you to get a haircut. Believe it or not, it's really strange. I didn't give a shit. I grew an afro in there. I didn't give a fuck. I'm surrounded by dudes. But believe it or not, these guys, they want to look good every day. I'm like, what the fuck you looking good for? What do you want to look good? But
that's actually a great point.
Yeah. I don't know.
What is the big thing about getting haircuts during the can?
Self-esteem. Every Friday, you should get one place for $10, like ready to go on the weekend.
You got visits, dude. You got visits.
I think it's like a feel-good thing. It makes you feel good no matter what to get cleaned up, you know. So I started in there with a razor and a comb. We didn't have clippers and stuff like that. So I learned a crazy way to cut hair, which when I got out, it made it so much easier for me because now I have actual clippers and equipment, real shit, you know. So it became natural to me. But when I come home, I open the shop. I really didn't know what the hell I was doing. I was scared to death because I don't want to fail, and I didn't really want to get in trouble anymore. And so I started the shop there was 2 chairs in the front, right where you see these doors here. This was like blocked off. I know no one's seeing what I'm doing, but it was just that little room, and it started with me by myself cutting hair, and then thinking, you know, everybody must already have a barber. How the fuck am I gonna get down? How am I gonna get people in here? But they came right away. I mean, I was busy right off the rip.
So you didn't work at any other shops before?
I did. Okay. When I came home, I worked at one shop for about almost a year. I saved whatever few dollars I could save. This place was a dump when I took it over. It was a little travel agency that this guy Vincent Leone used to own.
And it was just this room right here?
This room here, yeah. There was actually a wall in between. Vinny Leone had a bed in the back here. I don't know what the fuck he was doing. In the front, there was he had a desk. And, I mean, it doesn't happen anymore, but when I first opened, the first few years, there would be these like old Italian couples come in. They're like in the 80s and 90s, and they would like go back to Italy like every 5 or 10 years. Yeah. And he would it was a travel agency, so he'd set it up for them. And they would come in, and I'm like, you know, don't you have a grandson that knows how to use the internet? Like, I can't help you. He usually does everything for me. I'm like, he's dead now, so I can't. There's nothing I can do for you. So, but it was called Fun Travel, and it was like I built it up so that you can actually get in, but there was a door. It was a short door. You had a duct to get in here. And I remember when my brother brought me in with the realtor, and I'm like, Mike, I can't do anything in here. This is fucking insane. Like, how am I gonna do this? And my brother's just dynamite at what he does. Yeah. So I told him my vision, and he created it. So a lot of people think it looks like, you know, it's from the 1800s, but that was the style that we went for.
Yeah, like old-fashioned.
The old-fashioned, all the wood, you know, the deep colors, and like the mahogany and stuff like that, and the black leather, the boots, and
yeah, so, it's really cool. You know, there's that throwback old school vibe to it. You know, and then all the pictures on the wall and everything, and came out really dope, man.
Thank you.
Yeah, really. So what year did you open?
2007.
2007, and then you also opened a second location on Beacon Hill.
In 2012.
Tell us about that.
So that's a good story. So that used to be called the Capitol Barbershop, and my dad, after he closed the funeral home, he worked, believe it or not, he worked for Sal DeMacy, who he was the Speaker of the House at the time, but he ended up doing 8 years in the can. Oh yeah, he did 5. They let him out. They let him out early for because he was sick. But he was the chief of staff for Sal DeMacy there. So my father was hooked up with legitimate guy. My father's a square guy, you know, but I would pick him up from work. He worked at the State House. So they cut through this little gateway where you're not allowed to go unless like somebody works there. So I would cut through, and I remember seeing the shop all the time and thinking, what a great location this is. There's so many people, and the place is a fucking dump. Like, in my head, I'm like, someday I'm gonna own this. So the guy was really fucked up on drugs. I don't know what the hell he was on. He was just totally insane. I went in there a few times and shot the shit with him just to fail him out. And so right next door there's a Capital Coffee Shop, and these Italian guys have good friends of my dad. Actually, it's Maurizio from Limoncello's. I think it's his brother or cousin. They work there. So I told him, listen, when this guy looks like he's about to drop dead, call me.
Give me that jump.
Yeah, so I want to go talk to him there. So I went up there. So I put $15,000 in cash in my bag, and I made up my own bill of sale. I looked it up. How do you do this? I printed it out. I fucking had it ready. All you had to do was sign it. So I go up there. He's in the middle of a haircut, and I'm like, you know, how you doing? My name's Rob. Blah blah blah. You know, I'd like to talk to you about purchasing your shop. And he tells the other barber, oh, come over here and finish this haircut. So the customer was like, no, what the fuck are you doing? No, I gotta talk. I said, no, don't worry. I'll wait. I'll sit down. He's like, no, this is important. Whatever. So we end up going down the basement. We talk. We're going back and forth for about an hour. He wanted $50,000. The place is a fucking like a dump.
Yeah.
Just like awful.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, the barber upstairs is gonna buy it. He's waiting to get a loan. I said, Pete, let me ask you something. Is that his only job? He's like, yeah. Do you pay him on the books or under the table? Under the table. I said, no bank is giving him $50,000 fucking dollars. He's got no credit. He's got no fucking. He's got nothing.
Yeah.
So don't bullshit me.
Yeah.
Listen, and then I knew because he was fucked up too. So I'm like, I knew to show him the money. That's why I brought it. Because I didn't know like a big shot. I knew it was gonna get in his fucking head.
Yeah.
So I said, this is what I got. Zip, and I showed him the cash. And he said, I'll take it. He said, do we need a lawyer? Do we need this? I pulled out the bill of sale. I said, sign right here. You're all set. And I remember it was a snowstorm real bad, and that's a fucking crazy hill up there. And I walked out the door, the owner of the shop.
Wow.
Just like that.
Wow, man.
And then we ripped it apart, renovated it, and we ended up
what year was this?
To 2012.
All right, so not that long ago. So people are still doing cash deals like that.
Yeah, they're
old
on the side. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, nice. And I read that the JFK and RFK actually used to go in there and get their haircuts back in the day.
There's actually, I should have showed it to you. There's a picture of them, JFK standing right in front of the shop back there. But upstairs, right above the shop, they had like a whole floor. John F. Kennedy, Robert Kennedy, when he was a senator before he became the president. So when the duck tours come by, they always stop in front of my shop and tell the story how JFK lived on 122 Bowdoin Street, upstairs, blah, blah, blah. So it's like we're part of history there too. You know what I mean? So that's what I love about that shop. It's super historic. It's really, really old. And, you know, there's all kinds of different ways and mazes to get around the fucking building, just like you see here.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so one day I'll take you guys.
Yeah, no, definitely, now, have you, is that one just a barbershop?
That's just a barbershop, yeah.
Any plans to add anything else over there?
There's a shoe cobbler, believe it or not.
Oh, wow.
Right next door.
I didn't know cobblers were still around.
And I'm waiting for him to kind of be on this house like too. But I don't think Beacon Hill will ever allow tattoos because it took me 3 years. It cost me over $100,000 to get approved and zoned for tattoos, and they wanted me to do a lot of fucking crazy things. So to do it all over again, the North End and Beacon Hill, super historic. Can't get anything done.
Really?
Can't get any permits. It's like impossible. Like Joe and I are from here, so we're kind of tapped in.
Right. You got. Yeah.
So we got a little juice, but we're losing it as people are dying off. So that's why we needed to get it in now. You know.
I was going to ask you, how would you compare Beacon Hill to the North End as far as? Well, you kind of just answered it, but
yeah. I mean, the only difference is the clientele is a little different. But I mean, Beacon Hill, we got guys coming in with bow ties. They're very really proper.
Yeah.
excuse my language, kind of cunty, but it is. They are what they are. You know what I mean? It's okay, but it's a different neighborhood. There's not a. But I'm also connected to Suffolk University. The Suffolk Superior Court is right behind me.
Nice.
The State House is right in front of me, and it's a residential neighborhood, and I'm the only barbershop in the whole fucking neighborhood.
Really?
Yeah.
So you're killing it.
Yeah, we're doing well. There's nowhere else to go.
Yeah. Wow. Now, what made you want to combine a tattoo shop with a barber shop over here at the North End location?
All right, so my logo, you see the guy with the black eye.
Yep.
He's got the rolly fingers mustache.
Yeah, dope logo, by the way.
So thank you. I drew it myself.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Nice.
So the way I can explain that is there's a few pictures around. I'll show you too. But during the Depression era, barbershops and tattoo shops combined storefronts. Like if you turn around right here, it'll say tattooing, and then you see the barber pole, and we fix black eyes. Yeah. So I have a sign in the window that says black eye specialist. So let me give you an example. Cinderella Man.
Yeah.
Remember the movie?
Yeah.
Remember when he had the cast on?
Yeah.
He had to disguise it when he went for a day job, but they wouldn't pick him if they saw that he had a cast on and he needed the job. So back then, barbershops and tattoo shops combined storefronts.
I never knew that.
One, to stay in business. Two, day workers were king. There was no job. So you'd go out there with a crowd of people and just wait. Hopefully they pick you, you, and you. You're working today. You're going to make some money. So if they would show up with a black... There's a lot of crime, a lot of fights, a lot of shit going on. So if they would show up with a black eye, they wouldn't get picked for the job. Because they would just look at them and go, all right, maybe a troublemaker. I don't need any fucking trouble. We just need to get to work. So they would go to the barbershop before they go to the date to get a job. They go to the barbershop, get a haircut, get cleaned up, look presentable. If they had a black eye, they would put leeches around it, suck the blood out, and then they go to the tattoo shop and they would tattoo your eyes to look natural. So that's why I said it's black eyes made to look natural.
Really?
So that's why he has a black eye. That's the whole logo.
Wow, that's
dope.
Wow.
And it's not the only reason I decided to do that, but when I expanded and I got this piece, I was like, what can I do so I wouldn't lose the identity of what I'm trying to do here? Like, what can I add? I'm not going to do nails. I'm not going to do, I just like, what the fuck else can I add to here?
Yeah.
And I'm like, you know what? A tattoo shop's going to work good. And then I remembered that story that I read, and I'm like, you know what? I'm going to recreate that right here from the 1930s.
Wow.
You know?
That's crazy.
So was that something that went on for a long time, the combination of the barber? And I'd never heard of that. That's why I asked.
Probably only during that Depression era.
Okay.
And then they split up. That's why it's not anything that anybody knows.
Right,
That's why I made sure to put a few, like right over there, you see that one on the barber pole says tattoo right on the globe.
Wow.
And that's why mine
That's
outside it says tattoo on the globe. So I kind of recreated and copied a lot of things that I looked up in history and
That's
just
dope.
to see what.
It is. Because tattooing was illegal for a long time.
Here, it was illegal for
up until not that long ago.
Yeah. When did they make it legal? The early 2000s, something
Actually,
like that.
a friend of mine, good friend of mine, shout out to Atomic Ink. They're, I think, the number 2 licensed tattoo shop in Massachusetts, and that wasn't that long.
It was something
ago.
like 80 something years that it was illegal to do tattoos here. So it's
The Mass?
in Massachusetts. Yeah.
Oh, right.
That's why everybody
I don't
had to
know about
drive.
Rhode Island,
Yeah, I'm not sure about Rhode Island. Most
Yeah.
people drove to New Hampshire to get
Yeah.
tattooed, but they finally made it legal here, which is I don't understand.
and it's worked out well business-wise, right?
Oh yeah. I mean, you know what? I got lucky. I picked 3 industries that were kind of very old. A coffee shop.
Oh yeah, we'll talk about that too.
A barbershop.
Yeah.
And tattooing. In 3 industries, like just think. 20 years ago, you wouldn't pay $7.50 for your fucking macchiato in Starbucks. You know what I mean? I'm paying $8 for
Joe, how much was your coffee, Joe?
Exactly.
I'm not even gonna say what the coffee's from. 'Cause I hate the company so much, but the coffee is
It's
good.
insane.
But I spend about $150 a week. That makes me sick.
So, but just think, like nobody spent that much money on coffee. Coffee cost you 50 cents for a fucking cup back then. But I picked 3 industries, not because I'm a genius. It's just I fucking got lucky. You know what I mean? And tattooing went through the roof.
Right, exactly.
You know, like, you see tattoos from before, they're garbage.
Right,
you know what I mean?
right.
So you can see how the industry just went so crazy.
Crazy.
And then barbering, there's so many nice barbershops now. They're all over the place. They're respectable. They're making it a respectable business rather than just, not that it was respectable before, but it was usually two old guys are about to drop dead in some little shitty old shop. You know what I mean? Or a couple of junked out kids that really sell dope rather than
Let me tell you, growing up, my barbershop experiences was the latter that you talked about. You know, just the hood spot, fucking all kinds of shit going on.
Yeah, exactly.
It's nice to have a classy joint, but that's also fucking really cool. Like,
Well, when I first opened, I mean, it was non-stop. People coming in, selling hot stuff. I had this guy, Sneaker Steve. He used to come in all the time and he would fucking...
Joe, you know Cinis, you know him?
Joe knows
I saw him once when I was in the Bay. Waved hi.
I really can't stand him, to be honest with you. But I'd let him set up all the sneakers and sell the customers would love it. These kids from out of town, they never seen anything like this. So it's like, but at some point, I'm like, all right, this is getting a little too fucking crazy. It's like, because my business was doing well, I didn't really need. It was kind of something I was bred into me growing up, but I'm like, I don't need this shit anymore. You open the door once for them, they're just gonna keep coming back, you know. And then there's gonna be incidents.
Right. You don't want all that drama and fucking bullshit in the shop. I mean, although you told me a couple of stories that you kicked people out of here from time to time.
Yes, that happens. That happens a lot.
You're also the bouncer of the shop.
It doesn't happen as much because people, I think, after it's just like one of them things. Like you fuck with somebody once and something really bad happens to you and gets around. Like, we're not gonna bother this.
So people don't fuck around too much over here now.
That's why I said, you know, should we lock the door? I'm like, nobody's coming in.
You don't have to worry about it.
No,
you don't get too many wanderers in here anymore.
Joe lives like 100 yards away.
Yeah, just call Joe. He'll come down.
You know what I love about this shop and Rob himself is that knowing him my whole life, this shop is like a culmination of his whole entire life.
Yeah.
Because when he was young, because he said it's a like a social club, a coffee shop, and a barber shop.
Yep.
When he was young, he had his basement set up as the cellar, we called it. As somewhere to hang out.
Really?
He used to cut people's hairs down there before he started cutting hair. And then he had a coffee shop at one point.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So if you think about it, he brought it on his whole, that's the span of his life.
Yeah.
Now it's
and I
in
put
one
it all
place.
in one. I forgot all about the
So you were in the coffee business already?
And from 97, I think 96, 97 to 2002, my brother and I owned a coffee shop on this street, on 178 Salem. We were at 113 Salem. So it's a little further up. And I learned everything you could know about coffee. So when the coffee idea came in here when people used to pop in and see there's so many people waiting, and they would say, I'll go get a coffee and come back. No. And then, you know, I'd maybe get 10% of them to come back. But then I would nail them and say, we got coffee in here. And they'd say, no, I wanted to get an espresso. We got that. I want to get this. I'm like, we got it all. Just come in and sit down. And then, you know what? Next thing you know, the name is getting called, and I got you as a client.
I was going to ask you that. Has anyone ever come in, got a haircut, got a tattoo, and got an espresso?
Yes, plenty of times.
You know, that's crazy. You know, I'll get a haircut, maybe I'll get some ink.
If I get a tattoo, I schedule it that way.
Exactly.
Right. Sometimes the artist is running a little late, and they got 20 minutes. I'll grab a haircut. I mean, anyone who gets a tattoo here, I immediately offer you. What do you want from the bar? It's like everything's free.
Yeah.
And we just take care of everybody. You know.
That's a smart move, man. I think it's a really smart business move. You know, you're combining all these things that kind of coincide in a way too that you might not even think about.
And there's history behind it that nobody even knows.
Yeah, I just learned something that I didn't know, which is a cool throwback. And you've also cut some big time athletes. Including Conor McGregor, which that's pretty fucking dope.
That's probably the biggest one, right? Because he's worldwide. That
definitely.
He's fucking crazy.
How was that experience?
He's you know what? He's exactly what you see.
Yeah.
I met him in person. Yeah. I mean, he's still gonna be. He was a gentleman. He was super nice to me, and but he's just wild and all over the place.
Yeah.
And I remember I got a picture. Actually, we got a little video of him doing his hair, jumping around, throwing fucking kicks, then doing his hair again, and you see me looking at him. and I said, wow, you're a fucking wild dude, huh? Like, what's going on here?
It's real.
But yeah, he's a sick guy. So he's super professional though, like he knows how to promote. Like at the end, it was a cross promotion between Reebok and his whiskey Proper 12.
Yep.
So at the end, he had to do some little commercial for the whiskey, and he had to do it in like 20 different languages, and he nailed all of them.
Wow.
There was one he just kept on fucking up, and he was getting mad at himself. It was in Japanese. He couldn't get the word right, but he ended up getting it. And then we drank at the end and hung out.
Oh, you got to hang out with them. That's cool. Yeah. And you've caught a bunch of Bruins, Boston Bruins, Brad Marchand, also Gordon Hayward from the Celtics.
Milan Lucic. If you turn around right there, we were the centerfold of ESPN magazine when they won the Stanley Cup.
Oh wow!
Yeah,
damn, that's dope, man.
So Lucic, Andrew Farron started coming in here first, and just awesome guys. They end up living like right next door to me.
Okay.
Luch lived in 50 Fleet. I lived in 24, and then Farron's lived like right across the street from him. So we end up just becoming friends and hanging out. But he was super young when he came here too, and Luch is like. I would describe him. He's a super athlete, obviously, but he became like a neighborhood guy. He's a tough guy too.
Yeah,
you know?
of course.
It's like he meshed well in this neighborhood.
Yeah.
So, but we end up becoming close.
Any Red Sox or Patriots?
What's his name? We got a bunch of Patriots in here actually. Like who's the new guy that we just posted? KG. I forget his name. I'll tell you right now. Yeah. Joe Kelly from the Red Sox.
Joe Kelly, Joe Kelly. I saw that.
That dude is nuts. Like, he grew up. He showed me a bunch of stab wounds that he had.
Really?
He's he's Mexican too. I didn't even know that.
Kelly?
Joe Kelly was Mexican.
Sounds Mexican.
That sounds real Mexican.
He actually pulled out and showed me a picture of his mother to prove it. I'm like, you're not fucking Mexican. What are you crazy?
Joe Kelly.
But his mother, his father was obviously not, but his mother was.
Okay, all right, that makes a little more sense. Okay.
But his brother, I believe, is like doing life for murder.
Really?
Like, so he grew up in, I believe, Anaheim. But he grew up in the ghetto. So he's he doesn't seem it, but he's just like a serious dude. You don't fuck around with him. But he does have another brother that's like an MMA fighter too. But he was super cool. He came in there a bunch of times, but then they traded him. And then who the hell else came in here from the Red Sox? I can't try to remember his name. So I'm drawing a blank. I can't remember his fucking name. But from the Patriots. We just had. What the hell's his name right here? KB. What's his real name, Joe?
I don't really know. I don't know any of the Patriots.
Yeah, KB. Right here.
I haven't followed. Yeah, well, I mean, I do, but not
Tom Brady. Oh, sorry.
Tom Brady. Yeah.
Yeah, Tom Brady.
I didn't really watch this past season.
Me neither. I mean, COVID just put everybody to
It did. It fucked everything up, man.
The worst.
Well, any other celebrities come through? I could picture like this being the spot, man. People come to Boston, they're filming a movie or something like that.
You know who's been in here? The guy from The Godfather, who was Connie's husband. What's his name, Joe?
Oh
wow.
Johnny Russo?
Johnny Russo. Yeah, he's been in here.
All right.
He's been in here. I don't know how famous he is. But,
well, he's more famous on YouTube these days. You got a couple interviews.
Kendrick Bourne. That's his name.
Okay.
Kendrick Bourne. I also had what's his real name? Fucking Fonzie.
Henry Winkler.
Henry Winkler's been in here.
How was that?
Yeah. Oh, he was funny, man. He's a fucking funny guy. Like, it's just so crazy the movies he did after. Like, he was Mr. Cool, and then he was just like Mr. Weird. Like in Waterboy and the shit movie he was in. But other than that, like the thing is this with celebrities. Is they have, like, especially like Celtics, black dudes, like they have their own barber. They don't fuck around with, certain
hairstyle.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I know some people that cut like celebrities and athletes, and you know, they do pretty well just cutting them.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, the Celtics have they have a guy in the clubhouse that cuts their hair, but they make their way around because where the practice facilities are, they're not in here. So it's like the North End is tough for people to get to get in here.
Too.
Yeah, you know.
It's not.
Look,
big.
so to make it their regular place, it's you know, I'm unlucky on that in that sense.
It's more so people that live in the neighborhood.
Right. Well, that's the thing. The Bruins, the hockey players, they're like more. They're not prima donnas. These guys will punch you. Punch you all over the fucking place. Yeah, they're tough guys. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
So they like to live in the neighborhood. It's been it's always been like that. Like the Celtics never lived around here. No Red Sox lived here. But the Bruins always, they're scattered all over the neighborhood. Like Brad Marchand lives here. Luch lived here. Ferenc lived here. What's his name? The goalie. He lives in
Tuukka Rask.
Yeah, Tuukka lives in Charlestown, I believe. But he's always down here. But these guys, they become neighborhood guys, you know. You see them all the time. And once they show their face enough, they don't get their balls broken all day for autographs and stuff like that.
Yeah, it's not that big of a deal.
Right.
You see them every day.
Yeah.
You know. Now, you recently expanded even more.
Yeah.
You added, there's a second floor, more tattoo space and barber space. Yeah. What made you expand into a second floor?
The thing with the barbershop was so busy that I just couldn't keep up with the demand. So I'm like, okay, when I take over the upstairs, I'll add more barber chairs and I'll add more of the tattoo shop. But it happened right when COVID happened.
Okay.
So like I told you, I built that during the 3-month quarantine.
What was here and there before?
This is an expansion.
Yeah.
This was a backyard. This was outside.
Oh, right.
Yeah, so I just blew out the back of the building.
This was outside.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, wow.
That was the end of the building right here. So I blew the back out, expanded up here, and then built up.
Okay.
And so the nail salon expanded. They took the upstairs. They were doing massages. It just didn't work. It didn't work for her. So she didn't want to take that other half because she couldn't pay the rent. So I bailed her out and I took it. And I kind of used it for storage until I could figure out what the hell was going on. And I knew I needed to expand my business, but COVID happened, and I'm like, now I got fucking 15 chairs in here, and there's no customers, you know? But you know what? The tattoos never skipped a beat.
Really?
And part of it is because I think with all these stimulus checks and people people that never had any fucking money, they're coming in and they're getting tattooed constantly. I'm like, I'll take it.
Fuck it.
Mine.
Yeah,
exactly.
Man. So the barbershop upstairs isn't actually open right now?
No, it is.
Oh, it is?
It is, yeah.
It is? So are you steadily busy down here and up there?
Yeah, we're doing well because we're doing appointments now, which I just really don't like.
You don't like the appointment thing?
Nah, I mean the customers probably love it, but the appointments, like, they keep you hostage to things, and like. But now it's helpful because we'd probably be really dead without the appointments. Because
let me ask you this: if you have, let's say, a client that wants to make an appointment only, and he's a really good client, maybe tips well, whatever. Yeah. Would you make now you're only making appointments. Right. Prior to that, would you make an exception?
Yeah, absolutely.
For somebody?
For me, for the past I don't know how many years, I don't have a chair. I'm not on the floor anymore.
Oh, really?
Like for the first 8 years, I cut it hair for 10 hours a day, every single day, and it got to the point where I really didn't have to. And then I had so many other things to do. It's like, you see how big this place is. There's a lot of fucking moving parts. If I'm cutting hair all day, I can't keep an eye on everything. But Marty Walsh, who's was the mayor of Boston, is one of my clients.
Oh, really?
So for a couple of years now, and so he just went to D.C. He's the Secretary of Labor now in the White House. And I told him, I guess that's it for our relationship. He said, what the fuck are you talking about? I'll be here every 2 weeks.
Wow.
DC's not that far.
Yeah. Okay.
So now he comes down with the Secret Service.
Yeah,
it's fucking insane. There's two blacked out crazy trucks out there, and serious dudes like surrounding them. And they come in and they love it. But so I could say that I lost my connection to the mayor, but I think I got a bigger one.
Yeah, exactly. So you still got a few clients and stuff, people that you cut.
He's from Dorchester too. He's like a regular guy, really cool guy to talk to.
So you're more like managerial, day-to-day operations of the whole place.
Pretty much.
I'm sure there's a lot to do between the barbershop and the tattoo shop, and
you burn yourself out.
I do everything from cleaning the toilets. You'll see me on the fucking floor, like wiping things up. I'll be making coffee and doing whatever.
That's real. That's real. And kicking people out when they act up.
Throwing them out. Sometimes I gotta get out. I mean, and my guys are good about it because they don't know. I got super loyal employees here. My guys are dynamite. They really are. They've been with me a long time, and they don't know what is appropriate. Like, they know this guy needs to get thrown out, but they don't want to do it because they don't know if I'm not gonna like it or not. So they say, Rob, there's a problem over here, and I'll just take the cape right off and tell you, get the fuck get out of here. I don't waste any time. It's just there's no need for it.
You told us a good story off the air. That was pretty interesting. So you got a lot going on over here. What do you have any upcoming plans? Anything else in the foreseeable? Maybe expanding the empire, even more? Or?
Before. I'm sorry if I keep bringing it up, but before fucking COVID.
Right. No.
I mean, we were like a couple of my guys have been with me a long time. I'm like, guys, it's time. It's time to open up more Boston Barbers.
Yeah.
And you guys know the whole business. Like, there's three, 4 guys in here that know how to do everything that I do. And I taught them everything from scratch. And I'm like, it's time to have your own places and let's just fucking blow this thing up and start opening things up. And then we got fucking they dropped the nuclear bomb on us.
So right now is not the time.
Yeah.
How do you find it, running the barbershop, the difference between that and the tattoo shop? Like,
honestly,
is there one you prefer?
It's super similar to each other because it's like commission based. Like, if you don't cut hair, you don't make money. If you don't tattoo anybody, you don't make money.
Right.
If you don't, vice versa, I don't make money either.
Right.
So it's a great relationship between the owner and the employee, because if you make money, I make money. If you don't, then I don't either.
Right.
And my job is to make sure that you're busy.
Sure.
And I'm really good at that.
Sure.
That's my job, to make sure that I got people coming in the door and I'm taking care of them and they have a beautiful place to come, and that's beneficial to everybody that works in here. It's like if the place was a fucking dump, there's no one coming in here. So I spare no expense. So it's a good relationship. And I always say, if you're gonna work for anybody, you need to work for somebody that has pride in what they do, because you'll never succeed if they don't give a fuck what's going on.
Also,
you know what I mean?
Yeah. Would you open up another barbershop / tattoo shop?
That's a good question. I don't know if I would ever do it again. It was really, really hard. It was a lot of work, a lot of fucking paperwork. I had some good connections in the zoning board that I don't have anymore.
Yeah.
But I don't know. You never know what can happen. Yeah. But it was a lot of work.
What about a barbershop combination with Eat Cinis? You go in, you get a cut. Joe, what do you think? You go in, you get a cut. You get some Cinis, some calzones.
Great idea.
Hey, I tell you, the guy they were broke my balls to inspect a place in here. And they kept on coming in, going, yeah, we don't want you to do this. You need a dedicated ventilation system for every room so that we don't share the same. So this room doesn't share the same air as that room. You can't walk over here from there. We want a separate so the bathroom's here. They wanted a separate door for the bathroom, so where people don't have to walk through here to get into here. And I'm like, you guys are just fucking it. And then they broke my balls about the brick wall. You can't have a brick wall. Everything needs to be a washable surface. So as you can see, there's like 87 layers of urethane on there. That's like it might as well be glass.
Yeah.
And so when he came in and he was looking around, I remember him going like this, like fucking shaping things out, looking. I'm like, Jack, what the fuck are you doing? At this point, they came in 600 times. I'm already $100,000 in the hole. I didn't even care anymore. Like if I got, it's just that was my lawyer said, Rob, do you want to give up now? This is how much money you got left? I said fucking zero.
Yeah.
So the guy was telling me, I just don't like it. I don't like the idea. Tattoos, haircuts, coffee, cheeseburgers, French fries. I said, Jack, Who the fuck is selling cheeseburgers in here?
I'm selling Cinis in here, not cheeseburgers.
So that would be really nice. Though,
That would be.
Have a nice
Joe, set up a little Cini thing over there by the bar.
This is what irks me about. It must be like this in a lot of cities, but Boston, it's like instead of doing everything in their power to help you accomplish what you're looking to do, to help the community, give people jobs, and make money flow through the community, they do everything to make it harder for you
Doesn't make
to get
sense.
it done.
Well, they
this
say in
crazy.
Boston you need a permit to get a permit.
That's
You
crazy.
know, it's just insane.
Even
So-
if you're trying to help your community,
Right.
you're a staple
Right,
of the community. You're from here. You guys are from this area.
Well, that was helpful.
Born and
Like
raised.
when I went in front of the neighborhood councils, there's a lot of old ladies from the neighborhood, older women, Italian women that like they don't like change.
Yeah.
And when I went in front of them, I was really nervous. Joe's grandmother was one of the women that were there, which
She would never go again.
Yeah, exactly. No, not a million years. And so that made me feel comfortable. But when I did my presentation and they all got up and supported me, these old ladies are supporting a tattoo shop in their neighborhood.
Yeah,
It's just fucking just bizarre for the North End, you know. So it was a nice, refreshing thing to see that people sticking together.
Yeah, well,
you
probably
know?
because they know you too.
Right.
And not only that, I mean, you wouldn't think like upon first glance that this is maybe a tattoo. I mean, you see the barbershop first
Yeah,
anyway.
sure.
And it don't really have. I don't know, like some tattoo shops, like barbershops in certain places, are like hangouts for certain groups of people.
Sure.
We'll say.
Well,
you know what I mean? But
I'll give you exactly what they said. Like there was two guys that got up and said, "You're gonna have the Hell's Angels in there." And I'm like, I don't know any Hell's Angels. I'm not gonna have them in here. They go somewhere else. They're not fucking coming to the North End. You just took a whole group and told me that I'm gonna have them in here.
Because that's what they incorporate tattoos with.
Right, exactly.
Even though tattoos have become super mainstream.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Mothers and the old people and everyone gets tattoos
Right.
now. So it's not.
So, but I get it. Some people just, you know, they're just not with it, and they think whatever they think. But I'm like, I just said, okay, you're gonna vote against me. That's fine.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna argue with you. You have every right to do so. But I got approved, which was great. But when they came and did the inspection, the guy just checked everything off. He didn't look. I'm like, Jack, are you gonna check the fucking sink you told me to put in over here? Are you gonna check if I have hot water? Are you gonna check the brick wall? He said, Rob, I'm not checking anything. He said, I need to apologize to you. I said, for what? He said, because we beat the shit out of you with this. So I'm like, whatever, Jack. It is what it is. It's not so bad. He's like, I got to explain it to you because I don't want you to think I'm a bad guy. He's like, this came from upstairs. They told me to make this extremely difficult for you because we don't want every ghetto barbershop in the city going, oh, he did tattoos? We're going to do it too.
Yeah.
You know, so it's beneficial to me that when somebody, he's like, we want people to come and ask you, how did you do it? And we want them to tell them your story of how difficult it was and how much it cost you, because they don't want to deal with it.
Yeah.
Because there was no rules and regulations that went along with a dual business.
Right,
Like there's like a hybrid business. So they
right.
didn't know what to tell me to do. They were just making shit up.
Is there certain like rules for the tattoo shop that you don't have for the barbershop, that you have to make sure one thing's done for one and not the other?
I mean, the main thing was not sharing the same air. Every tattoo room has a dedicated ventilation system. Like this room, if the door is shut, that's
and why,
that's a different comes from a different
Why is that?
Because they don't want cross contamination with the tattoos, like as far as hair coming through and like shit like that.
Okay.
I mean, it makes sense.
I guess that makes sense. Okay,
but other than that, not much. Not much. The businesses are very similar.
I wonder if there'll be any copycat businesses popping up, barbershop,
Good
tattoo
question.
shops.
I could tell you one thing.
We have one in Rhode Island. You told me. I didn't even know.
Yeah, it's a hair salon.
Oh, it's a salon.
Hair salon and tattoo shop. Sunny the Shares, I think is the name of it.
Okay.
Oh, that's cool. Right. But I'll tell you one thing. In this neighborhood, like, you're not allowed to do anything. Like I said, you need a permit for everything. They deny you all over the fucking place. But I learned if you do it tasteful, nobody complains. Like if you do cool stuff and they're like, wow,
this
that
is
looks good.
definitely
Well, if you come in here, it's like a fucking museum.
Oh yeah,
Right.
Yeah. I want to ask you about that. I mean, there's you come in here. I mean, the pictures on the wall are just worth coming in here. I mean, you have so many interesting pictures from celebrities to sports to organized crime figures to fucking. I mean, it's really cool, man. Like
we got it all.
Yeah, man, it's really cool. And you also have merchandise. You got shirts, hats. What made you? I've never seen that really in a barbershop either.
Well, the logo.
It's a dope logo.
Yeah. The logo became a brand.
Yeah.
Which I mean, not huge. But a local brand like Cinis, like everybody knows Joe and Cinis around here. Like, out of the neighborhood and out of Boston, we're probably the completely fucking unknown or somewhere. But like over here, we're the guys. You know what I mean? Everybody knows who we are, and so it got to the point where people wanted the logo was super famous. And now you're seeing it all over the place. I went to Aruba. I saw my sticker on a fucking boat when I got off the plane. Wow. Like, I got pictures from people that like came here from Australia, but the good thing is that people, it's a big thing that people travel wherever they go, they get a tattoo. Yeah. Like if they come to Boston and get a tattoo, then they go to get Seattle and got a tattoo over there. Yeah. So they showcase my work all over the country.
Yeah.
So it just grew from there.
So that's smart then, just to have merchandise. To have people come in maybe from out of town, they get a haircut or a tattoo, and then you can sell them a shirt or a hat or something that.
And then if I got people like good customers that come in here on a regular basis, I like to give a lot of stuff out for free. Like we do the tattoo conventions in here, and my booth is the craziest fucking booth at the tattoo convention because I bring the whole shop. I got barber chairs. I got 5 tattoo artists going. I even bring the espresso machine.
Wow, that's cool.
You know what I mean? I'm selling coffee. So people are trying to sell you like stickers for fucking $10. I'm giving everything out. Keychains, stickers,
that's
pens,
smart,
that.
That's smart.
Being now, and the big thing was I was giving out lighters with my logo on it. That was also a bottle opener. That they went like nothing. But for me, it's beneficial. Like I spent some money on it. I'm giving it out. Like, but now when you go in your pocket, your keychain, my logo is right there.
Right,
right.
Smart
when you
market.
go light your fucking cigarette, you're gonna look at my logo. It's gonna be embedded in your head, and that's how you create a brand.
Joe, you got Cinis merch in the works? You got shirts, right? You got
eatcinis.com.
Eatcinis.com. I'm slacking over here.
I need women's hoodies, shirts, hats. Beanies, Cini beanies.
Cini beanies.
I got it all.
Now, Rob, you had, similar to Joe, you had a brief reality TV experience. You want to talk about that a little bit?
Sure, why not? So back in, I think it was 2012, 2013, a friend of mine used to be on the Timberwolves. He was a center. His name was Paul Grant. He's 7 foot 1, white guy. He's a really cool guy. And he's been coming in here a long time, and he filmed me without telling me. And he called me up one day, and he's like, "Rob, don't get mad, but I got to tell you something." So I'm like, "All right, Paul, what the fuck are you talking about?" He's like, "I filmed." I'm like, "What do you mean you filmed me? Don't fucking say that."
What does that mean?
It's not what you think. You know what I mean? So he sent it into this production company called Joe Productions, and they loved what they saw because I was probably acting like a fucking lunatic that day, and because I have like my personality is like crazy, like it goes up and down, because you could be explosive at sometimes, but for the most part it's funny. People like it. They're probably laughing at me, but I'm not happy. But anyway, they came down and we did a whole 18-minute sizzle reel, and I didn't like the way they portrayed the neighborhood and myself. And so basically, I told them, I don't mind you touching on my past and letting them know like who I am, what my story is, but my story is a comeback story. It's not a fucking gangster story. You know what I mean? So
that's just one little piece of it.
Exactly. I mean, it's just part of my life that I'm not proud of. It is what it is, but it made me who I am, and I'm okay with it.
Right.
So I don't mind you talking about it, but don't portray me as something that I don't want to be portrayed as.
Yeah.
And but that's Hollywood,
right,
and
of course.
I know this shit sells, but they, like I said, they edited everything and they made it like in one of the episodes they made it seem like I fucking killed somebody.
Yeah, you said a friend of yours.
Yeah, a friend of mine. I'm like, this kid's gonna end up killing me if he sees the show. And they're like, you don't understand. The next episode will say what really happened. I'm like, yeah, I might not live that long. You know what I mean?
They're getting you in fucking trouble.
Yeah. So anyway. I had another meeting with them, and I'm like, guys, you know what? You lied to me. You didn't, they're editing it. So what I was saying earlier, that they asked what the North End was like growing up.
Right.
And people were getting killed and stabbed and murdered. And fucking, shit was happening back then. Not just our neighborhood, everywhere.
Yeah, sure.
I think, Boston is a city of neighborhoods.
Oh,
it used to be.
Yeah, no.
Like, very segregated as far as that, and we liked it like that. You know what I mean? It was fine. But we got along. It was fine. The Irish stayed there, the blacks stayed there, the Italians stayed over here, and it is what it is. And I had friends in every neighborhood. But they portrayed me and my shop as if it was back then. So I'm saying what the story was. They're asking me how it was back then. I'm telling them, but they're putting it in present day. So now I got people that know me, that grew up in this neighborhood, and I'm saying, people got shot in the street. But I'm like, no, they fucking
30
did.
years ago.
Yeah, exactly. And then, and I'm like, guys, my reputation is worth way more to me than any fucking money in the world.
That's real, man. That's respect right there.
So I'm like, I really don't care. I'm like, you lied to me, so I'm like, I'm out. And then they told me we had a contract, and I said, okay, you got a contract? You want to come down here, bring your whole staff, do whatever the fuck you got to do, pay a ton of money, and then you could change the name of the show to The Mute Barber, because I don't have to fucking talk. And like, if I don't talk, then there's no show. Yeah. And, we had a few arguments, and then I remember my friend Paul Grant, the guy he was like the executive producer.
Yeah.
And he's like, Rob, what's going on? You're arguing with these people. I'm like, yeah, Paul, it's just like, that's it. I'm done. I'm out. It's no big deal. And he's like, they're really afraid. I'm like, afraid of what? Well, they don't want to end up in a trunk. I'm like, then tell them don't get in a trunk.
Yo, they really said that.
They're fucking crazy.
They're crazier than fucking anybody else that's down here.
Are you insane?
Yeah, right.
And that's what I told them. Tell them don't get in a trunk.
People watch too much TV.
Yeah,
man.
exactly.
I mean, listen. Obviously, you're a street guy, but like people just blow things way out of fucking proportion.
Absolutely. Man. I mean, you could be a knock-around guy, but I'm no fucking hitman. Yeah. Come on, man. Plus, I don't want to portray that and like.
Yeah, no, you're doing your thing legit, man. You got a good business. Yeah.
And then the other thing I always thinking is like, it's still a barbershop. Like, parents come in here with their kids.
Yeah.
It's not a kid's barbershop where it's like you see them playing with fucking toys on the side.
Yeah. But I got lollipops though.
Yeah, you got the lollipops.
But dudes love the tradition of bringing their sons to the barbershop.
Definitely.
It's an experience, and it's like, I don't want them watching that and going, I don't want my kids going there, because these people are different. They don't understand. You know what I mean?
No.
It doesn't mean that's who we are, but they don't understand how we grew up and that this is just embedded in us.
They have no idea.
It's like we grew up like that, and we did the things we did because that's where.
Sometimes it's
that's what we followed. That's what we knew. You know.
Well, maybe you and Joe could combine and do like, because he had his reality show experience. You guys could do like something real. You know what I mean? Like,
I want to do a Cini OnlyFans. So everyone's interested.
No, but what you could do nowadays too is you could just you start a YouTube channel or even on IG. Joe's been doing that. Yeah. And you could just do it your way, yourself, on social media. And that, fucking, TikTok? I mean, you blow the fuck up.
You followed us this weekend. We had a fabulous weekend. 8 cases of Insignia wine, casino, cannabis.
You don't even need... I'm sure, like, if you did something down here, like whatever, on Instagram or YouTube, it would get views, just because of the place.
Right.
Well, back then, they didn't, like, when they were doing the reality shows, and Joe's was around the same time.
Yeah.
There wasn't, Instagram didn't exist.
Right.
Like, this stuff didn't exist.
Yeah, right, exactly. I could definitely see something, like, if I was scouting for a movie, I've gotten into acting a little bit, this would be, like, a cool place to film a fucking scene.
Yeah, sure.
Like I said to you earlier about music videos, you know what I mean? Yeah. Like, I already got it, shot out front For Omerta, shout out to Big Chris, my brother. You know what I'm saying?
Good man.
Also known as Chris Dreads in the North End, right? That's what you got. Yeah.
That's his name over here.
The only time you had wear a suit was on anniversary.
Oh, he was suited up every day.
Heavy up there.
I loved it. Tattoos on the face, dreadlocks, and a
nice suit.
A beautiful suit.
Three gorilla in a suit, right?
Motherfucker, he could wear a suit. I tell you, he could wear
Look good on him.
Definitely.
Bring back the suit. Hashtag.
He might still be wearing it though when he's doing the bodyguard thing. I think, you know. But I could definitely picture something over here, man. I think it would be dope, you know.
Absolutely.
Oh, there's so much cool
It's such a great location. I mean, Joe, what do you think? I mean,
I love it. I think it's almost as interesting as Jelly's house.
But you know what?
Jelly could have a little section in here. You give him a little section.
Rob cut his hair a few times.
I've shaved him several times. I don't really have great experiences with Jelly. He's a motherfucker. So, but professional ball breaker, but he's all right. But you know what else was cool about this place? You don't realize you're in the basement.
Right.
This is the cave. There's no fucking windows.
No, there's no.
That's it.
One way out.
Yeah.
One
I
way
get the
in.
feeling, though, that you are. It's very welcoming.
It is. It definitely has that welcoming feel. Like a place you want to like hang around in.
Yeah.
You know what I
That's
mean?
a whole social club feeling.
It does have that feel. Yeah.
Well, even when Marty Walsh is in here, and if I'm late to meet him, I'm like, oh, were you waiting long? He's like, I'll stay here all fucking day.
I would come in there and chill. Yeah, man. Do you have? Not really with COVID, but did you before that find people would just come in and hang out, or did you not allow that?
No, we did. There were certain people that were undesirables that needed to go, but definitely a lot of people came in and just hung out in there and didn't get a haircut. I mean, they always come back to the coffee bar and have a coffee. I got 4 receptionists. They're all cool, pretty girls. They're friendly, so they'd like to come in and talk to the girls. I got a bunch of girl barbers too.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
So it's all mixed in.
And you're giving jobs to the community, to the area too.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? It's a thriving business, big business.
I can tell you,
a lot of these kids that work here that Rob helped out through the years, who were all fucked up before, and then they really found themselves as barbers and working at the shop.
Yeah.
Which is a real plus because you don't want to see your local kids do bad. You want to see everyone succeed.
Give them a place, give them an outlet, to do something positive to make money.
Right.
Yep.
And so Rob, let me ask you this too: growing up, born and raised in the North End, how have you seen the neighborhood change over the years?
Well,
has it been for the better or the worse?
Okay, so that's a good question. Better for business, worse for original guys that love their neighborhood. Because if I would feel safe sleeping on the fucking street back then because it was ours. We didn't lock our doors. We knew everybody. We knew everyone in it. You can go down every building. I can walk from my street on Fleet Street down to Joe's house on Endicott Street, and we knew everyone who lived in every fucking.
It's a great thing, right?
I mean, so it was just. It was fun growing up. It was a fun thing to experience that's never going to take place ever again in fucking history because it's just not the way the world is.
Less and less, man.
Yeah. But watching it, it was sad to watch us lose what we created over the years. I mean, and people way before us also.
Yeah, sure.
And but the good thing is it the neighborhood didn't go down the toilet.
No.
Like there's neighborhoods that went like just straight ghetto, fell apart, and blah blah blah. But it went upscale, and the good thing about it is that we may not know everyone on the street anymore, but we know all the business owners.
Yeah.
And that's all that really matters.
Yeah.
That's where the juice is. You walk in the door, they know who we are, and we're getting taken care of no matter what. Yeah. So I'd say 90%, Joe, right, of the businesses around here are owned by original North End neighborhood people.
Yeah, that's good, man.
Right, when you think about it, if you think about it that way, then right now you're in the golden era of the North End, because once these guys get old and then their families don't want to take it over, their kids, then there's going to be strangers owning the restaurant.
Right.
So it's almost like you're living in the golden moment now of that.
We still got it.
But there is still a lot of people that own their buildings that hold on and they came back to live here. So it's like, to me, it's 1,000,000% the best Little Italy in the country.
You said that before, too.
And I'll say it to the day I die. And it might quite possibly could be the best neighborhood in the country.
Well, I'll say this: I love it because it has that old school. Even though some of the people, the demographic has changed, there's still guys such as yourself and people that are keeping it local, keeping the traditions alive. And I love that old school enclave feel because you don't get it too much. Like I was just in New York City, and it's like a whole fucking different world. Right. You know what I mean? Like these old school neighborhoods. You know what I mean? Are not. Some of them have completely lost their identity.
Well, that's
you know what I mean.
That's the thing about this place is it's actually still a neighborhood.
Yeah.
Even though the people have changed, we still see if you see the same guy every fucking day coming out of his door and your door, you're gonna end up saying hello.
Right.
Like that's how we grew up. But a lot of these people don't really have much respect. They don't. I say it all the time that they need. People from the suburbs and move to the city, they need to learn city etiquette.
Yes. Yeah. There's a whole different...
They don't fucking get it. Like, our houses are not 100 yards apart, like,
Explain that city etiquette a little bit, if you don't mind.
All right, I'll give you a perfect
Joe,
example.
you can interject on this, too. These are two straight city guys from the fucking... Still in the city.
So one just happened the other day that you'll know what I say. This guy, so we take the trash out. It was only 3 days a week. You come out, you throw it on the fucking sidewalk. That's it. And you go back in your house. This kid come out with tighty whities on, no fucking clothes, barefoot. I hate people that walk around in the city fucking barefoot.
How do you do
Devious thing.
It's disgusting. But they do that in their neighborhood. I get it. It's okay. You can walk down your driveway and take your trash out in your underwear. I'm like, dude. The fuck are you doing? Like, if my mother has to see your print, no, put your fucking clothes on when you take the trash out. You don't realize we're on top of each other here. You know what I mean? We're literally, the buildings are connected. So you got to understand that these people, you don't have that. You want to live in the city, you can't have the luxury of the suburban fucking driveway. They want to live here, but also have their privacy when they feel like it.
But there's no such thing as privacy.
No.
In the north end, in the city, and living in a city.
Right. Everyone's so close.
Let me give you another great example. I don't know if I can say exactly what I said to this girl because it was really bad. But I came home from work, right? I have a basset hound. He's actually passed away now, but I have another one. So. I lived on the top floor, so my dog used to go to the bathroom. I'd open the hatch for the roof, and he would shit on the roof. And I would put it clean. I would sweep it up, whatever, and then he'd come back home. And then it got to the point he started doing it by himself. So it was like fucking perfect. I didn't have to take the dog out. Like in the suburbs, you open the backyard door, he goes and comes back in. It's a fucking. So to me, my building that my grandfather bought, the roof. That's my fucking backyard.
Right.
You don't like it? I do whatever the fuck I want up there.
Yeah,
just like you would do the same thing in your yard.
Yeah.
So I come home. There's a note on the door. Please do not have your dog shit on your roof anymore because I don't want to see it from my window. Because my building is short and the other buildings are tall. So there's windows that can look right down.
Yeah.
And I'm like, so I read this. I got real fucking mad. I ripped it off the fucking door, whatever, right? Next day, come back, I take my dog out. See this girl come out next door, 28 Fleet, I live in 24. She's barefoot, of course, taking out her fucking trash. And
what
right
is this
away,
barefoot trash trend over here?
Exactly. So she says,
Joe looks disgusted.
Joe can't believe
When I was
it.
at the Mardi Gras, and the stripper broke her foot off. She cut her foot off of my cigar tube after I was smoking. She bled all over the place. Wanted to give me a lap dance. So get out of here.
it's just disgusting.
Joe, what the fuck is going on?
Her foot bled all over me.
So the girl says, is this your dog? And I knew right away, you motherfucker, you're the one who's writing the fucking notes. And I said, yeah, it's my dog. Why? Well, can you not have him shit on the roof and blah, blah, blah? So I looked at her and I just went like this. I was wafting my nose.
Yeah.
And I said, you cunt. It stinks.
Oh, Jesus.
I said, when you take care of that, I'll take care of the fucking dog.
That's
the valet in front of the president, they were dying laughing. I was so mad.
Till this day.
Wow.
She was horrified, and I said, "Yeah." She's like, "What?" I said, "You heard me. That's right. You cunt."
That's what the reality TV people missed right there.
Exactly. Like, get back in your fucking house and mind your own business.
Yeah, put some shoes on.
Yeah. But here's my thing: Imagine living in the suburbs. Maybe the house is not too far away.
Yeah.
You can look out the window. The guy's dog shit in the backyard.
in the
You're
yard.
gonna go. You're gonna go to your neighbor, knock on the fucking door, and tell him, "Can you not have your dog shit in your
Wow, they
backyard?
shit.
'Cause I don't want to look
They'll
at
walk
it."
their dog, they'll shit in front of your
Yeah,
house.
it's great, and they won't pick it up.
Yeah,
you
no
know?
shit.
Well, do you think that's maybe part of the reason, certain city, neighborhoods lose their identity because it's good for business that the people are buying businesses, but you get these people that don't know the culture, and they move in. It's almost like you'd rather have the originals in the neighborhood that are thriving business-wise instead of outsiders.
Right. I mean,
It's a mixed thing.
yeah, it's a tough one because a lot of these people are really cool and they get it.
Yeah.
They're learning. Now people are raising their families in the neighborhood. Their kids are growing up here, and
You guys got the hipsters over here, like big time,
not really.
No.
Not really. That's more in Alston, Brighton area.
Yeah.
This area is just super yuppieville. You know what I mean? And a lot of students too. Like the student, and the students. And what I like is that I get them in here young, and I'll teach them.
You can kind of mold them,
Yes,
right? Show them the ways.
Yeah, they come in here and they're like, all right, these guys know what the fuck's going on. Let's talk to them.
Yeah.
It's just common courtesy. A lot of these kids lack it because their parents gave, they got the trophies for showing up, and their parents told them how great they were their whole lives.
Right.
Then all of a sudden you get into North End and someone tells you, "Go fuck yourself." Now you don't know what
They don't know what's going on. Yeah.
Well, why do you think a lot of people move out of the neighborhoods? Is it because of the prices of rent and everything like that, gentrification and everything?
No, as the years went on, people got families, and instead of
they need
now
more
you get a
space.
little money.
Yeah.
Well, that's what you're supposed to do. If you become a zillionaire, you're not supposed to stay.
Yeah,
there.
you don't stay in there.
Right, you're supposed to go somewhere
But
else.
I don't consider this neighborhood to be. It's not a ghetto. You know what I mean? It's not a bad place to live. Like people want to come here.
Oh yeah,
you know what I mean?
It's not, but there's a big difference between kids who grow up in the city and then kids who don't grow up in the city.
Definitely.
And because even like my nieces, they have a real edge.
Yeah.
They're only 12, 13.
Yeah, sure.
Whereas girls their age living in Stoneham won't talk like them. Won't say the thing.
Absolutely.
Carry a billy club.
They'd be horrified.
Right. So it's like, it's still kind of, I don't know, it still gives you an edge.
Well, no, there's definitely an edge. And,
Right.
I mean, and what Rob alluded to earlier about the history of this neighborhood years ago, there was a lot of things going on that, you know.
I mean, also back then in like the 80s, there was still like rent control around here, and like families could afford to live here. And then as the prices went up and up and up, they couldn't afford the rent. They couldn't afford, to buy the building, and they moved out and found a cheaper way to live, which was kind of sad, to be honest with you. But it is what it is.
Yeah, well, at least you guys are still here, maintaining the old school,
Well, think about how old the North End really is.
Oh, yeah.
Paul Revere lived here.
Right.
The Old North Church is right. There's so much American history.
Oh, yeah.
It started
Historic.
here. in
Started
Boston.
literally right here.
And at least they kept the architectures were pretty much the same, probably for the most part, right?
Oh, it's beautiful.
Yeah.
It is. It's really cool. The streets, the narrow streets, and the little. I mean, it's really cool. You don't see that too much.
No, it's unique. You come down here, it's a special thing. It's a special feeling when people. So, like I said, when they come in here, they know that something special happened here. That there's a mystique. You can feel it. You know.
Yeah.
But you just gotta extract it from somebody. How do you find out these stories?
You got to talk to the authentic guys, like
Exactly.
you guys, which is cool. That's still around. So, Rob, what are your upcoming plans? You have any upcoming plans?
I mean, as far as upcoming plans is that I gotta, with the new tattoo shop, it's been so busy. So I've been working on controlling it better, being more organized with everything, learning the business, because I'm not a tattoo artist. You know what I mean? That was a tough thing for me, because it's like, are they gonna respect me as the owner? Because I'm a barber, but I'm not a tattoo artist.
Right.
But as far as expanding anything right now, I don't have any plans until all this COVID shit is over. I'm just gonna keep on building this brand and doing what I gotta do here.
Joe, what about you? What's going on with Cinis?
Just living the Cheney life.
Living the Cheney life. I see it. I mean, I see it on the social media, on Instagram.
Every day
I know.
lit, they say. That's how I live it.
So
Having a good time.
Is there any new developments though with the
There's
Cinis?
a new Cheney coming out
the
real
last
soon.
time I talked to you.
Really? Well, no. I've been actually trying to, we're working on getting them into the supermarket still.
Oh, nice.
But I'm going to release a new Cheney this week.
What? Really?
Yeah.
Can you
Speak on it?
I might want me to drop it right on hand to you guys.
Yeah, exclusive. Exclusive. Eat Cinis exclusive.
So a lot of people, when I showed a sneak peek, a lot of people thought it was like Asian rice, which no, it's not. It's fresh grilled corn, smoky bacon with jalapenos.
Sounds amazing.
A risotto with the 3 cheese blend, and then we made a sauce for it. It's a jalapeno aioli, and I sprinkle some crushed up Takis right on top.
How do you fit all that in the fucking genie? That's a lot of stuff.
I know, man.
Those things gotta be they're difficult to make. That's why not a lot of people make genies or orange genies.
No, the way he does it though is innovative.
Yeah.
Most places don't.
Rob loves genies.
Yes,
cheese is amazing.
My mother's straight from Sicily, and she says it. I don't make iron cheese, and she's like one of the best cooks in the fucking world. I won't make them. She said they're too much work.
Yeah.
It's a lot.
Traditionally they're different. They're bigger.
Yeah, they're like a softball size, you know. But to make them small like
how
that
he does
is super difficult, and it's a lot of tedious work. So I give him I give him credit there.
It's very tedious.
Yeah.
But I think it's paying off though. I mean, Eat Cinis is becoming pretty famous.
Yeah. The garden's reopening up at 25% soon, so hopefully that keeps moving.
Yeah, definitely.
There's a pot shop opening up right next to us.
Yeah, that's right. That'll be perfect. Yeah. People get high, then they want to.
And even then, see how the city is.
Oh yeah, that's great.
On the news, I'm reading this. They go, the neighbors. They didn't ask me my opinion, but the neighbors go, we don't want people hanging around and this that. They talking negative about the pot shop, which hasn't opened yet.
Yeah.
But you're not talking negative about the homeless that are out on Causeway Street.
The methadone clinic.
The methadone clinic
people.
People shitting and pissing in the street. No, that's not, no one talks about that. Be worried about people with money because this weed isn't cheap in the stores.
Yeah.
Right.
They're going to spend money.
Right.
And I got to look at a pot shop. I went away for 2 years for a pot, and I'm looking at the.
That's insane. But that place, I saw it on the news today. Ascend. It's like it's 16,000 square feet. They said it's fucking massive.
It's 4 levels. It's
holy shit! The fucking weed shop.
Yeah.
Holy fuck!
So they
what
said
are they gonna have in there?
The biggest one in the state.
Every strain known to mankind.
I don't know.
Holy fuck!
I haven't seen it yet, but I seen the outside. I saw it on the news. So I was waiting for them to scroll over to the left to see Chini's, but you got no action.
No action on the news.
We're always the underdog. I like it.
Yeah, it's good. Keep fighting, bro. Keep fighting. Rob, why don't you give out your social media website where people can check out Boston Barber and Tattoo Co?
Our website is bostonbarber.com. Really simple, and our Instagram is Boston Barber Tattoo Co. And you'll find anything you need to find on there. You can see the whole history of the shop, the story on the website, and that's about it.
Cool, man. So if you're in Boston and you want a haircut, you want a tattoo, you want an espresso,
you want a chini.
Well, we will get to that, but make sure you come here because
Boston
this place,
Barber and Tattoo Company.
There's no other barbershop or tattoo shop that I've seen that's like this.
Definitely North End must see.
Yes, it's if you're doing a tour of Boston, North End specifically, this is a place to stop.
We're actually going to be in the book. It's called 101 Places You Must See in Boston.
Oh, no shit.
Yeah, absolutely.
So they did a story on us, took some pictures, but the book hasn't come out yet.
I think we'll, if we can, we get maybe like a little video tour of after, and we'll post that on social media.
I'll give right here.
Yeah, that'd be cool. And Joe, why don't you plug your social media, the Chini's?
Chini's, 252 French Street, The Trap, Boston, Mass. Eat Cinis, at Eat Cinis, Instagram, Facebook, Snapchat.
Yeah, you're blowing up, man.
TikTok, it's Eat Cinis Boston.
Your TikTok's fucking popping, bro.
Yeah, I love the talk.
I know, I see you on there, bro. I see you on there.
I'm too old.
You're on TikTok?
I don't even know. I don't know how to use Snapchat, TikTok. I'm 45 years old. I think I was the last guy to ever have a Facebook that like that. I held off for a long time. I held off.
Oh, man. Well, that was great, man. That was really good. Rob, thank you very much,
thank you,
brother. And Joe, as always.
You're welcome.
It was a pleasure.
You guys are cool. I had a lot of fun.
Thank you, man. Thank you guys for coming on.
Yeah,
Everybody, make sure you check out Boston Barber and Tattoo Company and Eat Cinis.
Street Corner Soapbox. We're fucking out of here.
Peace.